guys, I just got back from the bookstore not too long ago, and they finally have the Stephen King edition part 2 in right now, and it looks freaking amazing. I love this. It's not like the classic one. The classic one that we have right here is actually this one right here. This is the one from last year when they did the part 1. So now we have the part 2, which is this one right here. Okay, that's a little weird. Well, that's just odd, right guys? So this is like really exciting for me, but I listened to this on audiobook like I want to say like last year, and it took me like almost 2 months to listen to it. So now that I have this, I really kind of want to do a reread of this soon because I think it's just going to be amazing, especially like with the movie coming out. It's such a great thing. What's going on with this light? Okay, I think I'm gonna have to postpone filming for right now because this is kind of weird. I'm not really used to this, so I'm gonna have to go like double check my light and see what's going on with it. Next up is my book haul, so. Kira here, and today I am going to be going through my book haul for July. So there was a lot of really good books that I found and that came out and everything, and so I ended up just kind of splurging like a little bit here and there. And of course, like there's another book outlet order in here that I did not unbox on camera because I get like a ton of stuff that day. I mean, it was more like just a box set and a few books. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into the books that I got. So one of the books that I ended up getting is Stolen Time. Here, let me go ahead and put this closer to you. Stolen Time. This is by Danielle Rollins. This is actually a kind of like a time travel sort of book. I actually really enjoy the time travel books, and I'm really excited about this because like it takes place with Dorothy in 1913, and then it also takes place with Ash in 2077, and it just kind of goes back and forth. And I actually recently heard that this was going to be the start of a series, and I've heard mostly good things about this book, so I'm really excited about that. I actually ordered this off of Amazon, and it ended up coming with a signed book plate, which was really awesome because, you know, every like once in a while you can find really good deals off Amazon. So this was just one of those good deals like that I ended up finding secondhand with a signed book plate. And I imagine like that, judging by the book plate, and I'm not 100% sure, but it looked like this was actually a shelf love crate edition because the border around the book plate looks a lot like some of the other book plates that they've done. So I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of feel like that's what it was. The next book that I got was The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. This book has been really like buzzing around our community, and I really have been interested in reading this one. This was the future chieftain, a fugitive prince, a 2 cunning bodyguard, and a 1 grumpy gray tabby. And they mention cats, so I'm always happy with that because I love cats. We have a little map on the inside here of this book, and I'm so utterly excited for this. A lot of people have been saying like that this is a really good book. Fi abides by one rule: look after your own. As the future chieftain of a shunned castle of mercy killers, she relies on her wits and bone magic drawn from the teeth of dead witches. To protect her band, the crows take more abuse than coin, so when they're called to collect the royal dead, Fi hopes they'll find the payout of a lifetime. When Fi discovers that Crown Prince Jasmine and his crafty bodyguard Tavin have faked their deaths to escape the ruthless Queen Rusana, she's ready to cut her losses and perhaps their throats. But Jas offers a deal that she can't refuse. Make sure he lives to see the throne, and he'll protect the crows when he reigns. To outrun and outwit the queen, the trio forge an uneasy alliance that is soon tested by old secrets, shifting allegiances, and bidden feelings as Rusana and her band of deadly trackers loom ever closer. The 3 fugitives must discover what they're each willing to sacrifice to save their own. Yes, so this is going to be, oh, I'm just so excited for this. So another book that I ended up getting secondhand off of Amazon was The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. There was a movie about this quite a while back. I never actually saw the movie, but I can honestly say like that from everything that I've heard about it, it's got espionage and it's like a spy thriller, and I'm so excited for this because honestly, like I haven't read very many spy books, but like I really want to start digging into more spy books. So I figured that this was a good place to start. Reads with Kasara actually did talk about this and she said it was really, really amazing. I'm gonna leave her channel because she is just awesome and she reads so many books a month, guys. Like, it's ridiculous, and I love how dedicated she is. So you guys should definitely check out her channel. But yeah, so she was raving about this book. So I actually went and investigated and I managed to find it hardcover secondhand, and I absolutely love this cover. It is gorgeous. Unfortunately, like, though, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the rest of them in hardcover, at least like the second and third one, because those are also very popular, but I feel very lucky that I was able to get this one. The next book that I got off Amazon is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This has also been going around quite a bit. Actually, come to find out, this was an Owl Crate exclusive that I ended up getting off of Amazon. And not to mention, like, the fact that all the Owl Crate editions come signed. So not only did I get an Owl Crate edition, but I got a signed book. When I was hunting for a book for Ace of Shades, because I've been hearing a lot about it, the sequel came out and I believe the third one's probably going to be coming out. I think there's a third one, don't quote me on that, but I do think there is a third one. And I've been hearing so many good things about this book that I kind of just wanted to go ahead and get my own copy of it. And so I'm really excited for that as well. And the fact that I was able to find a signed copy secondhand off of Amazon was just amazing. So I made out really well like this month for some of the signed copies and Owl Crate editions. So the next book that I got was Beneath the Citadel by Destiny Soria. I've been hearing Reads with Virgo rave about this book, like absolutely rave about this book. This is one of her favorite books and she absolutely loves this book. I was inspired to buy this myself because I really want to read this now. Like, I'd seen it a while back and I wasn't like really sure like if I wanted to, because like I've heard, you know, a few people were like, ah, that was okay, but she absolutely loved it. And it was just, you know, like, I was just like, oh, well, if you love it that much, I might as well go ahead and try it out to see how I feel about it. This is a city governed by prophecies. Can four powerful friends rewrite fate? The citizens of the city of Eldra are ruled by ancient divination after the last infallible prophecy came to pass. Growing unrest led to murders and eventually a rebellion that raged for more than a century. In the present day, Cassa, an orphaned daughter of rebels, is determined to fight back against the High Council, which governs Eldra from behind the walls of the Citadel. Her only allies are no-nonsense Alice, an easygoing evader, and perpetually underestimated Newt. Cassa struggles to come to terms with the legacy of rebellion that her parents left her, and her fear that she may be inadequate to shoulder the burden, but by the time Cassa and her friends uncover the mystery of the final infallible prophecy, it may be too late to save the city, or themselves. So yes, I'm very excited about this one as well. So I ended up picking up 3 paperbacks in a series. Study in Charlotte, The Last of August, and A Case for Jamie. And these books are all by Brittany Cavallaro. These books are actually inspired by other Sherlock Holmes movies and everything. And so, or the classic Sherlock tales. And recently, like, I've heard a lot of people talking about these, and not to mention like the fact these covers are beautiful. So this is the second one. And this is the third one, and I would decide to go ahead and get these in paperback because they not only are they smaller, but you know, I kind of just felt like they're a little bit floppy, which I really love. So these are all inspired by Sherlock Holmes. One of them I got from Book Outlet and the other 2 I got from Amazon. The next book that I got is How to Talk So Your Kids Will Listen and Listen So Your Kids Will Talk. This book is written by Adele Faber and Elaine Maslich. This book is actually about how to talk and be talked to and how to respond to kids. I don't have kids, but I figured that it would be useful overall. I actually heard Anna Arcana talking about this. She actually did a video on this, and the few tips that she gave I felt very, very useful to communication. So being the fact that I am very socially awkward, I'm trying to gain some more confidence in talking to people, so I felt like this would be a very good book to kind of brush up on those social skills that I feel like would help me interact with people, so that I can not feel like sometimes like I interpret things the wrong way, which I have stupid moments, of course, like during interactions, but I'm hoping like that this will be as good as it sounded. The next book that I ended up getting is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This has also been all over, and it's about like this girl who is a tailor, or is trying to be the tailor to, I believe it's the king. Her father was a really renowned tailor, and so she is also striving to follow in his footsteps and be a tailor as well. This is another book that has been getting a lot of popularity, and I am so excited to also be starting like this. I also got another copy from Owl Crate, I believe it was, that has like the beautiful gold spine and gold lettering on it. This is the original one that I actually ordered before I knew I was getting that one. So this is still very beautiful, and I absolutely am so excited about this. The next book that I got is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This is the UK cover, and I was looking at this book for quite a while, and I really wanted this particular cover just because I love how it looks. But this is a very popular book. This is another one of those like ones like that a lot of people, I get mixed reviews on, but it's considered a modern cult classic, a major motion picture, and a timeless bestseller. This is kind of a coming of age story. I ended up getting like this off of Book Depository because it was only like $7. So the next book that I got is The Boy Who Steals Houses and the Girl Who Steals His Heart by C.G. Andrews. This is something that I'm very excited about because I've seen like this book around quite a bit. And basically because C.G. Andrews is also known as Paper Fury all over Bookstagram and also on Book Twitter. I read also her other book, 1,000 Perfect Notes, which I also ended up picking up, which is actually in my stack that I read. And I really, really loved that book. It was so beautiful. I cannot wait to tell you guys more about that in my wrap up. But The Boy Who Steals Houses is another like one of those books, and I believe it's going to be just another one of those hard-hitting contemporaries. But if it's written anything like her first book, which is 1,000 Perfect Notes, it's going to steal my heart away just like the other one did, and I'm really excited to be reading this. So this was a book I ended up getting from Book Outlet, The Ancient Magnus Bride, The Golden Yarn by Koro Yamazaki. This particular book, I have been reading mangas on The Ancient Magnus Bride, and I've really been enjoying those mangas, but this actually ended up being a novelization. So we don't have any of the pictures, it's just a bunch of words, and I didn't know that when I got it. So I will probably continue on reading the manga series, and I might dip into this, but this was not what I expected. I thought it was going to be like maybe like a secondary series for the mangas, but it's actually more of a novelization. This was like one of those books like in my Book Outlet order that I just kind of threw in because I wanted the free shipping. So we'll see. I mean, it looks interesting, and I did love The Ancient Magnus Bride, and it still has like, you know, like a few pictures here and there. It's just more of a novelization than it is a manga. So the next book that I got is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I've been hearing a lot of things about this. I heard this was super smutty, and I'm waiting to be in a super smutty mood to start reading this because I've heard like that if nothing else, like even if like, you know, like the ending or anything else like is just whatever, this book is extremely steamy. I felt like this would be a good book. So basically like there you have like this girl, and I think she dresses up as a clown, and she isn't really taken seriously, like she's kind of made fun of, and then like this other guy comes and who moves back to town, and he's not really taken seriously either. So they kind of start dating each other, like one of those fake relationship tropes that probably morphs into a real relationship trope, and they end up doing some really steamy stuff. So that's why I got this one. Gotta love that smut. And then a couple more things from Book Outlet. I ended up getting 2 more books by C.S. Lewis in the same format that I got the other ones. The World's Last Night by C.S. Lewis and The Dark Tower and Other Stories by C.S. Lewis. Really, I am in love with these covers. I think these covers are absolutely gorgeous. This is like a collection of short stories. And then The World's Last Night is also a collection of essays by C.S. Lewis. And I've been kind of wanting to dig into more by C.S. Lewis. And this was kind of like my C.S. Lewis Book Outlet order, because the main reason I ended up doing this order more than anything is because they had the whole box set of the Narnia series, and I've been dying to dig into these. So the fact that they had the whole set made me very happy. And I've actually only read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is the, of course, most popular one out of all of them, but I really kind of like want to get a better scope of the whole series. This is actually, you know, really awesome. I'll show you guys the covers. So we have The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Last Battle, The Silver Chair. And then we have this good old little Narnia trivia book. Yes, so I'm so glad to have those so that I can finally dig into that whole series. So actually, like, I made an order to Target as well because Target actually has, I went through and compared like prices and everything, and Target actually was beating out Amazon on quite a few of these books. So I ended up making a couple small Target orders as well because Target actually online has a really good selection of books. So the Slytherin Reader has been talking a lot about this book as well. Nocturna, A Faceless Thief, A Desperate Prince, and Darkness Unleashed. And it's by Maya Montaigne, but guys, can we just like admire this cover for just like a few seconds, because this cover is absolutely gorgeous. I am so in love with this cover, but the storyline is really awesome also. It's kind of about like this thief, I believe, like that's kind of a face shifter, and they can, like, you know, become different people. It looks like there's going to be like some fighting for thrones and in here, but this looks like it's going to be a very solid read. And this book is also a Latinx inspired fantasy, but the Slytherin Reader really seems like she is very excited about this book, and so I actually wanted to go ahead and pick it up because of that. So another book that I've been looking at a lot is Like a Love Story by Abdi Nazmin. This is one that's kind of been floating around. It's a contemporary, and I do love contemporaries. It's got LGBTQ plus representation, and I just absolutely love this background on this. This is just so beautiful. So it's just another book that I just thought was just gorgeous. And it looks like there's a sunset like on the back, just like there was on the front, or it's a sunrise. I mean, I guess it depends on how you view it. If it's a love story, it's probably a sunrise, you know, new beginnings and everything. So Rezna is an Iranian boy. Judy is an aspiring fashion designer who worships her uncle Stephen, a gay man with AIDS who devotes his time to activism as a member of ACT UP. And so like it's got very diverse people in this as well. The next book that I got is The Beholder by Anna Bright. This book has been also floating around a lot, and so it's kind of like a matchmaking sort of book. In order to find like her one true love, she is forced to hop on a boat on the Atlantic Ocean and go across the Atlantic Ocean in order to find her one true love. She's looking for her betrothed. As far as like I know, like that's really like all I know about it. I read synopsis sometimes, like if I need like a little bit of refresher for what it's about, but that's enough for me to tell me that I really want to read this book. Another book that I ended up picking up from Target was The Grief Keeper by Alexandra Vicente. This book has also been floating around, and I was inspired to pick this up. So our main character, 17-year-old Marisol, ends up migrating to the United States on the condition that she is going to become a grief keeper. Grief keepers house other people's grief, and they live through the grief experience. It's kind of an experimental thing, but I heard really good things about this. It sounds really different than anything that I've read before, so I'm really excited to be digging into this particular book because I mean, I've never heard of a person who houses grief, so I'm really curious to see how they actually deal with this content. Another book that I ended up getting is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This is supposed to have non-binary representation. I really don't know like anyone non-binary in real life. Pretty much everything that I know about non-binary I have learned on either YouTube or on Twitter or anywhere on the internet. And I honestly like want to know more about people who are non-binary, and I ended up picking this up like right towards the beginning of July because this is a book that I've been really interested in reading and digging into because of that representation alone. I actually am in the middle of another book like right now called Mooncakes, which also has a non-binary character in it as well, which is very refreshing for me because I like to have like that extra insight into non-binary and learning more about non-binary people in general. So this was one of the last books I ended up picking up from Book Outlet, and this was actually the 6th book in the Keeper of the Lost Cities, and this is Nightfall. And they had this one, and I thought I was going to be getting paperback to match the others, but that's fine because it's a box set, so this will probably end up being fairly close to size with the other ones. So this book is pretty much a chunker, but it is, I believe, considered a middle grade series. And this is 6 books, so I'm not going to ruin all the other ones. And honestly, like, I'm really in this book for the buzz. I'm not going to lie. Like, I bought it because it seems like it's really popular, and I'm really curious about why it's so popular, and I really want to experience that for myself. So these next books are from my Book of the Month box, and I get a Book of the Month box pretty much every month, and I unbox it on my Instagram account usually the day I receive it. And so if you guys are interested in being a part of that when I get the books to see what I'm getting from Book of the Month Club, I'm not a rep for them, but I do love them, and they actually offer really good titles for like $10 for the add-ons and $14.99 for the original books. And they recently also updated themselves to including YA books in this as well, which is very exciting. So I ended up picking up Ready Player One, and I read this book a few months ago, but the fact that we have this amazing spine, I love the fact that it's a maze, makes me really excited. I actually got this because I do have it in a paperback, but I also really wanted it in hardcover. So when I saw that they had that and they were considering it a classic, a modern classic, I got really excited because I absolutely loved this book. I listened to an audio. I'm still raving about this book. It was amazing. It's definitely falling into one of my favorite books of all time, which is why I felt like I had to get the hardcover of this as well. So another book that I got from Book of the Month Club was Gods of Jade and Shadow. And this is by Sylvia Moraine Garcia. This is a kind of, I believe, like 1920s Mayan-inspired book. And it's been so long since I've read the synopsis, like all I remember was that I really wanted to read this. So when I saw that they had it, and this was actually like one of the books of the month like that they offered, which I was really excited about, I just could not believe that they had this, and I was so excited. So I'm hoping to be getting to this one very soon because I've been really digging historical fiction lately, and I want to read more historical fiction. So one of the last books that I got is Ask Again Yes by Mary Beth Keenan. And this book right here is about two kids, like they grow up together, and their parents, I believe, are cops, or one of the parents is a cop, and they kind of grow up together, and it's kind of like that multi-generational sort of thing, but it's also like, you know, kids to adult romance. And I really love that trope. Like, it's an amazing trope for me, and I love, like, you know, like that building on relationships, you know, like knowing each other for your whole life and falling in love with somebody who is right in front of you. This is gonna be really awesome. I really love this cover, and it's kind of like suburbia, like you have like a bunch of houses and it's kind of green, but it's so beautiful. Well guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys like this video, hit the little like, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell icon if you want to receive emails every time I post. Honestly, like if you guys do any of those things, it really helps me, it really supports my channel, and I really appreciate it because it lets me like know that what I'm doing is something that you guys enjoy. So please do any of those, like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate it if you do. Also, if you guys want to interact with me, I have links on the bottom. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and Amazon, and those links are linked in the description below. Please come and chat with me. I'm also on Twitter. Did I say Twitter? I don't remember if I said Twitter, so I'm saying Twitter again. But thank you guys so much, all my book beauties, for coming and watching my videos, and I hope to see you guys again very soon.